check it out, check it out. Okay, real quick, I just want to jump on here and let y'all know if you are experiencing, okay, if you are experiencing anything like that seems outside of the norm for you today, and by the time this video crosses your path, just know that that devil throwing a temper tantrum, chosen one, whenever we learn to move in silence and we're not announcing our every move, oh yeah, the devil gets nervous when he don't know where we're going. He don't know what we're doing. He don't know what we're up to. Okay, just like the narcissist, they get nervous the more we move in silence. So y'all got to remember that. Don't let that discourage you. See the opportunities, okay? Regardless of whether something's working out the way you were hoping or what you were thinking, because remember, our thoughts are not God's thoughts. But God puts us where He needs us and He shows us things. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to what it is that God is showing you, not what the devil's trying to distract you with, okay? Yeah, the devil will try to distract you with all kinds of stuff. And that's the thing y'all got to realize, that the devil, he's throwing temper tantrums. Okay, he's been doing that for the last, oh gosh, see, at the time of this recording yesterday, oh my gosh, where we were at there in Louisiana, we're no longer there. We have moved on. We got to keep it moving, y'all. And yeah, it was crazy making, because there was a Jezebel next door. And the Jezebel next door all day long was trying like heck to, I don't know if she was trying to earn psychopathic stripes. Well, she didn't. I could tell you that right now, because I knew exactly what they were up to. I mean, my gosh, I did a load of laundry. And there is no reason. Y'all got to pay attention to this stuff. And I was laughing. I was laughing at it because I was like, okay, that dryer, when I put the dryer on, put my clothes in the dryer, it said 45 minutes. I said, okay, so I go back up to my room and I'm timing it. And I went ahead and recorded, one of the podcast episodes for the Patreon channel. And I said, okay, I got that done in about 30 minutes. And so by the time I got back down to the dryer, it says 7 minutes. I said, hold on a second. It don't take me a minute to walk down them stairs. It doesn't take that long to walk up the stairs. So I knew that it didn't take that long. And so I realized that the devil throwing temper tantrums, because I did not book in advance. Like, I did not book the next room in advance like I had been doing. I'm staying low key, like real low key, because we get closer to where where God needs me to be. And the closer we get to where God needs me to be, that's why I want to tell y'all, the closer you get to where God needs you to be, you got to get extremely quiet and very low key and learn how to do things spontaneously and like lickety split. You have to learn how to make those like very fast decisions, okay? Because when I went down to the dryer, I was at the pool. Okay, I was at the pool for a little while, and this Jezebel, her and her kid down there, right? And then her Jezebel's friend, who is also a Jezebel, they come on down, right? Now, I've been there for 2 nights so far, and they ain't said nothing to me. Well, that morning, this Jezebel, I opened up my door, to get some fresh air, and I opened up the hotel room door, and then she's standing out there wanting to, talking on the phone or what have you, and so when I looked in that direction, she happened to turn around and go, oh, hello. Like, I'm like sitting here going, oh, now you're going to act like you just saw me for the first time. And I've been here for like 2 days already. Don't even play that game. We see right through that. And then ask me if I got a lighter. I shook my head no. Anyway, and so then I go down to the pool. All right, so I'm giving y'all the backstory. I go down to the pool. And so her and her Jezebel friend and the kid, they're all down there, and they bring the boombox with music, right? Like, I don't really care, okay, y'all, I don't really care, but the devil throwing temper tantrums yesterday like crazy, and so I decided to take a live stream break yesterday, because I said, you know what, that's crazy making. I'm gonna get packed, because I want to leave as early as possible the next today. And so, anyhow, that Jezebel, they were playing head games like crazy, right? And all I wanted was, about a half hour to detox, and then another half hour to do some water therapy, some I don't call it therapy anymore really, but it's pool endurance training. Okay, it works wonders. But anyhow, so I'm doing that, and then I go do my laundry, and but as I'm going down to get the clothes out of the dryer that said 45 minutes, right, and it only takes me about a minute to go up, here comes the Jezebel asking me how my day was going. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Now, all of a sudden, you be trying to talk to me and smiling at me like I'm like sitting here going, no, 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 no. I see through your shenanigans. I know what you up to. You a narcissist, and I see the games you trying to play. Well, I get my laundry and I get it back up to my room, and so I empty up my bag, and then I take and I get my bikini top out, right? And so I'm getting my bathing suit ready for the next trip. And so I got my bikini top, for those of you who wear those, right, I got the ones that have padding, right? There's padding in them. And then we got bras like that. So we've done laundry plenty of times. And yes, the padding sometimes comes out during the wash. Okay, no big deal. I was like, so I'm thinking, okay, all right, well, here's the thing, y'all. I learned something about my left arm, my left shoulder. Okay, we finally got it stretched enough to where we're like, okay, we finally got it loose. And so I knew that. And see, the Jezebels know what the Jezebel case study did to me, that physical assault that she launched on me. Right, so my left shoulder now, we moving it. We got it. We're like, okay, we got that muscle back, and we moving it. And so the devil throwing a temper tantrum because we keep on progressing. We keep on getting stronger. We keep on getting better. See, chosen ones get better. All right. See, God restores. And when he restores better than ever before. You need to understand that. And that's what the devil's afraid of. He knows that we're going to come out and we're going to speak our truth. We're going to share our testimony. We're going to share this stuff that his little narcissists are up to, because of the simple fact that when I got my bikini top out and I'm looking at it and I said, okay, there's a padding missing. Well, I didn't think about it being on the left side until after I went. I said, well, let me go check. I shook out all my clothes looking for it. And I double checked the bag. I went back downstairs. I said, let me look in the washer. Let me look in the dryer one more time. And sure enough, they weren't there. And so I said, okay, that's exactly what that Jezebel was doing. She walking by me, asking me how my day was going. And so what they did, because there was only 7 minutes on the dryer, I timed it. It was 45. So I said, where's that 5 minutes go? There's 5 minutes missing. It's because she went down there and snooped through my stuff and took out the left padding. That's exactly what that Jezebel did. She took out the left padding, the left side. That tells me that that's exactly what these demon spirits have been looking at, is my left shoulder. Because my left shoulder was just a little bit out of alignment from the right shoulder. And so my posture was a little bit off. It was good, but it's a little bit off. And the demon spirit can see that. And so when I discovered it, I discovered it yesterday. And so I'm like, all right. And so we start doing the endurance training. And I'm working them muscles. I'm drinking. I said, God told me, he said, get another dose of that creatine and get it back there in that back. And the left side, the top back muscles. He said, get that creatine in there. And so I'm getting that creatine in there and getting that protein powder in there and stuff. And so they can see that I'm moving it and I'm stretching it, right? And we're getting all back into alignment. And so the devil throwing a temper tantrum because he lost a stronghold on my left shoulder. Glory be to God. The devil throwing a temper tantrum because he lost the stronghold he thought he had on my left shoulder. Not anymore. And so that Jezebel at that hotel, and let me tell y'all something, they were really loud too. That's another reason why I had to take a live stream break, because they were playing music way loud. And then outside also. And because they got real noisy yesterday evening. I told the front desk people when I left this morning and get my receipt, I said, I'm not trying to tattletale or anything. I said, but y'all might want to check on them people in 328. I said, because I said, they pretty loud and rowdy and rambunctious. They're a bunch of narcissists. And Jezebel to boot. And so I was like, it didn't even faze me. I was like, whatever, dude. I said, they going to do what they going to do. But I said, the devil throwing a temper tantrum because he didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where I was going. How about that? God's my steps. He told me, he said, just get on the highway and drive. I said, we picked out a place to check out on the map. Yeah, and we did that. But there weren't no hotels there. So I said, okay. I said, what do you want me to do, Heavenly Father? He said, all right, well, come on back this way. He pull over in that gas station. He said, now look for a hotel in the area. And lo and behold, it's right outside, or well, right within the city that I originally picked out when I was going to make it to this next state to start with. I said, okay, we're going to end up there. And I didn't even think of that. As I was like, oh. And that was thought of like weeks ago. And so that's how God works. But the devil throwing a temper tantrum then, and then today, because it's that day, at the time of this recording, it's that day. And so the devil trying to make things appear where I'm at. He's trying to make things appear more difficult or not. So he doesn't want me to actually, okay, I'll tell you, he wants me to have a bad experience. Well, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work because we take what the devil dishes out and flip it for the glory of God, just like God does. And I'm like, okay, I see the opportunities here. I see opportunities here. So that's why I said I'm going to get on here. It's going to be a quick message. Normally, I would like to get on here and do like an hour live stream. We're a little bit late today, and that's why. Because I had a couple of extra stop-offs I had to make. And so we did. And it took a while. But the devil tried really hard to set us back. But God restores. And what I mean by that is that charcoal smell. Yeah. Okay, so that's what they did. And they got real loud outside so that I wouldn't open my door to get fresh air. And so I discovered something. I will never stay at that hotel again. I don't care if it's part of my membership package or not. I will never stay there again. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all where it was at. It was in Port Allen, Louisiana. I will never stay there again. And I didn't have a bad experience, no. But I caught on to that particular hotel was very much rigged with, oh my gosh, so much salt in the air, it ain't funny. I mean, we're talking tons of salt. I was breathing in while I slept. So when I woke up this morning, I said, oh man, I recognize this. I said, oh my gosh. I said, the devil throwing a temper tantrum. I said, he trying to separate me from my locus of control of my muscles again. I said, oh hell no. I said, we ain't gonna let him. So I said, all we got to do, because of the awareness, I said, all we got to do is just be patient. Be patient. Stretch a little bit and be patient, right? Got up this morning, opened up that door, started getting some fresh air in there. Okay. And I caught on to what was going on and how they, in the spiritual, how they were playing a role in all of that. And I said, no, I said, we ain't going to let that happen. So I get about a half hour down the road. I said, okay. I said, my autonomic nervous system, my inner child wants some hash browns. So we're going to pull over and we're going to get her some hash browns. And so we did. We got some breakfast. And then we got down the road even further. And I was going to get it to go and then find some rest area to go and just sit down and eat. But the Lord told me, he said, no. He said, go on in and sit down. He said, I'm going to show you something. I said, oh boy. Because the devil been throwing a temper tantrum. And so chosen one, whenever you go out to eat and it feels like the waiter or the waitress is trying to hurry you up. Yeah, it's because your light irritates. They're demon spirits. You got to remember that. And so it's like, I was like, I tell you, and they come and they tell you, oh, no rush, but they put the check right in front of you. Oh, no rush. Really? Really? I can sense your anxiety. It ain't mine. I can sense it coming from you. All I want to do is just sit here in peace, eat my breakfast. But see, that's the thing about chosen one. Everywhere you go, your energy is going to irritate them. It's going to make them nervous. They don't want you there for long. You see? They don't want you there for long. But the irony behind it is some of these hotels, they want to try and weaken you to a point to where you lose all your physical strength, that you become dependent on them, and then they can suck you dry of your finances and keep you stuck in whatever city you were in. No, the Lord said, no, we're going to keep it moving. Because the devil can throw his temper tantrum all he wants to, just like these narcissists do. It ain't going to stop us. That's the thing I need to tell y'all, that when God's favor is on you, can't nothing stop him. Can't nothing stop you. All things are possible with God. And you ought to remember that. Never forget it. So if it feels like you're having a little bit of off day, you're not having an off day. You are not having an off day. That's the devil throwing a temper tantrum. Do not forget that. Okay? Remind yourself, wait a minute. Stop and reflect. Don't give in, because I said, ooh, I can feel it. I said, I'm going to resist the devil and he shall flee. James 4 verse 7. I'm like, I'm going to resist the devil and he shall flee from me. Because I was like, I rebuke in the name of Jesus. Because you ain't going to do that. You ain't getting in my subconscious mind like that. You ain't going to try and tell me, oh no, oh, okay, so I get somewhere different. Somewhere I've been wanting to stay at one of these hotels for quite some time, and we finally were able to. So there's my opportunity. And so the lesson that I learned is, okay, you know what? Okay, it was worth waiting for. It's all good. It's all good. And so let the devil throw his temper tantrum. Let the narcissist throw their temper tantrum. And we keep it moving, okay? Keep it moving. Don't let the devil trick you into thinking that nothing's going to work out the way you want it to, because it always does. In the favor, okay? In your favor, chosen one. Because God's hands are on your life. God's hands are on it. Everything will always work out in your favor. Never forget, it's also your mindset. Spiritual battle for the mind. So keep it moving, and just know that the devil's been throwing a temper tantrum. Don't let him get to you, okay? Don't let him get to you. Don't let him trick you into thinking anything negative. Just turn around and go, you know what? We got a way around this resistance, and we are going to make this work, because that's how chosen ones are. We always make it work. We find solution to the problem. And I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. I told you it's a quick message. I don't even have the other phone up to see your comments, so please do me a favor and copy and paste them comments and put it in the comments on the replay, and I will catch them there. Okay, y'all? I know it's a little bit late, but I just had to get on here, and you'll have to catch this on the replay, because I shared a story about the last hotel with some Jezebel, how the devil been throwing a temper tantrum, and that y'all need to just not, okay, don't let it deter you, okay? Yes, thank you, fellow warriors. I appreciate it. I just want to get on here and give y'all that, okay? Because I did not tell you we weren't going to go live. It just didn't work. It didn't work early enough to my liking. However, it's working exactly how God planned it, okay? How God intended for it to work, because he had us do some things. We had to get some things squared away, a couple of stops along the way, and he had to show us some stuff. So he's going to be showing us some more stuff, okay? So you keep it moving. I will see you all. Yes, I will see y'all next time. And yeah, don't forget, we got a lot more coming to y'all on the Patreon channel, and then right here on the YouTube channel, and across all social media. Check out the My Social page of the website, CHA's social media platform. It's in the video description below for quicker access. I highly encourage y'all to check it out, okay? We got a business Facebook page. We're on TikTok. Yeah, we are not just on this platform, so we are always working on something behind the scenes, but we got more coming for y'all. We're also on Pinterest, the My Social page of the website, CHA's social media platform. That link is in this video description below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Also at CHA Academy, btbw.com. Oh yeah, I look forward to seeing y'all there, and we're just going to keep it moving, y'all. We got to keep it moving forward, and keep that positive mindset. Don't allow the devil to trick you into thinking negative, because, man, that is what he wants. Because as soon as you do that, then you're gonna it's gonna start feel like it used to before the transformation process started. Never forget, that's another trick of the devil. He wants you to feel bad. He wants you to feel unwell, just like you did before you started the spiritual awakening, before you started this transformation process. We're not going to let him do it. That's it. We got the power and authority on the inside of us to trample on serpents and scorpions. Glory be to God, sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name.